Not too long ago, Capcom announced Resident Evil Resistance, a 1v4 multiplayer game that will probably be forgotten as quick as the hype was. When this game was announced, I noticed a habit Capcom have. They make things better before they make them shit. Here's an example. Dead Rising 2. They added co-op so you could slaughter zombies with your friend, but it had its flaws, like only being able to go so far from your partner. Then in Dead Rising 3, co-op had more thought put into it. You were two separate characters instead of clones, had a whole city to run around in, and you could split up if you wanted to. They made it better. Then in Dead Rising 4, they made it shit. Sure, it goes up to 4 players, but you are stuck doing boring as shit objectives in a tiny area of a huge map with a piss weak amount of time to have fun. Same with Resident Evil Revelations. Co-op raid, lots of fun, made better in the sequel. Now, non-existent in Resident Evil 7. I would have loved raid mode with this engine. Co-op has been featured in a surprising amount of games in the Resident Evil series, 12 to be exact. I've played most of them, but today we're going to be looking at Resident Evil Outbreak File 2. This is the sequel to Resident Evil Outbreak. It is a squad-based co-op game where you follow the story of 8 survivors trying to escape Raccoon City during the events of Resident Evil 2. One of the biggest selling points of this game was that you could play it with up to 3 friends online, so you could have someone to blame if you die. Even though this is a side game, I feel it's still a very good game. It plays like the games that came before it, with threatening enemies, puzzles to solve, and resource management, but it also has its own features that make it stand out amongst its kin. It's also one of my favourite games of all time, but I never got to play it online as I had it on PS2, while it was also available on PC. And I don't think a lot of people could go online with a PS2 back in the 90s, so I missed out. I hope one day I will get the chance to play it multiplayer. Maybe Capcom will re-release it. Yeah, I don't think so. Enough talk, let's play. The game can be played offline with AI partners. To start, you'll have 5 levels to choose from, one of which is a tutorial. The levels act like episodes which make up one long story, that you can play in any order. Once you choose a level, it's time to form a team. First, choose your character. Each character has a set of unique skills and features that can affect the way you interact with the level, your combat capabilities, and how you will solve puzzles. You get a brief description of the character with their main ability or feature listed. Kevin is a police officer who starts with a powerful handgun. Mark is a security guard who is the strongest with melee weapons. Jim, a subway worker who hardly attracts enemy attention. George, a doctor who can make medicine. David, a plumber who can make weapons out of certain items. Alyssa, a reporter who can pick locks. Yoko, not Ono, a student who has the biggest inventory. And Cindy, a waitress who can carry the most herbs. They also have other abilities in their own stats. Some are faster than others, some have defensive skills, others have offensive skills, and in some cases some characters can interact with the level in a way no one else can. Once you've decided on who you will play as, you then choose 2 other members to form your team. Offline only allows for a 3-man team, so think carefully about who you want to take, but for reasons that I will gradually explain, don't think too hard about it, or even a little bit. Level 1 is the tutorial level. The game instructs you to look for 3 files. In these files you will find instructions on basic game controls, how to read the hub, and your character's unique abilities. If I was to list all of the controls right now, we'd be here for about 15 minutes. I am not joking. There are so many things you can do, and a lot of them require you to press at least 2 buttons at once. You are not going to remember all of these on your first play, so here are the basics. Movement has 2 sets of controls for you to choose from. Using the D-pad moves your character in a tank control way, whereas using the left stick moves the character freely in relation to your view. Holding circle while moving makes you run. R1 aims your weapon at the nearest target. L1 while holding R1 switches targets, locks onto the target and allows you to move while aiming. L1 by itself reloads your guns. R2 is free aim. Start opens up your inventory, X examines the environment, and X while aiming uses your weapon. Arguably though, the command you'll be using the most are assigned to the right stick, the triangle button, and the L2 button, which is the appeal mechanic. The appeal mechanic is how you communicate with other members of your team. Pushing the right stick in a direction or clicking it will make your character speak commands, such as go that way or follow me. Holding L2 while moving, pressing the stick or pressing triangle gives you the ability to address each member individually and some responses, like yes and sorry. All the commands are voiced and there is a chance that you can't be heard by your partners because they are too far away. Voices even get quieter the further away they are. Not all the lines are voiced though, and thank fuck they're not. Pressing triangle by itself, your character will ad-lib. This means a character will say something about their current situation and you might get a clue on what to do next. You can also do this to notes you find to potentially understand clues better. Most of the time you will say unrelated unnecessary things, and the AI constantly spam ad-libbing. So if they had voiced these lines, every level would sound like this.
My trousers get out of here and I'm hungry. I can't find the gun. Someone please get poison now.
Bro. Shut up! Once you find all 3 files, a key spawns on the floor near a locked door. You use it and other items in your inventory by choosing it and using the Use option. And then you're on your way to the next room. A message tells you some more about the new mechanics added to the game. Mainly some new phrases to say, and you can pick up items while severely injured. On to the next room. Here you will find the teammates who are severely hurt. You can pick them up to support them by pressing X near them, which allows you to let them move faster. As is tradition in the Resident Evil games, the health system is colour coded. Green is fine, yellow is okay, orange is oh shit, and red is almost dead, and purple is poisoned. You can heal yourself by using your herbs and first aid sprays. You can also find pills that will cure you of certain status elements. Really though, the biggest threat to you is this, the infection meter. Each of the characters is infected with the T-virus, making them slowly turn into a zombie. Whenever you receive damage or perform certain actions, the meter fills by a certain amount. If it ever reaches 100%, you die. At least offline you do. Online you will become a zombie and you can chase your friends. Using the antivirus pill stops the infection spreading for a short time, so use them when you can see them. To put it simply, this infection meter is a time limit to the levels. Back to our injured friend here. The game tells you that the AI characters have their own personality and act differently. Some will use healing items at different stages, others will run rather than fight, and some of the characters don't get along and will ignore you and do their own thing. At least that's what the game says. The reality is they are as thick as pig shit. The only thing I can say about the AI that is true is that some characters will stay by your side if those two characters happen to like each other. But most of the time they will run around clueless, or swapping out important items for useless ones. It's like the double agents. I'm on to you, Jim. They also need constant hand-holding. You can ask to use, or ask them to use the items in their inventory, and most of the time they will. But they can let their health get so ridiculously low before they do anything about it. Not so bad on easy difficulties, but imagine it on harder where they will get themselves killed exactly when you need them. You can also tell them to use certain weapons to defend themselves, but mainly you will want to do this so they stop using the power weapons on the most piss weak of enemies. I didn't get it on camera, but one of my teammates tried to shoot down a bird with a hunting rifle, powerful enough to kill an elephant, and wasted all the ammo. Needless to say, I was pissed, because I needed that for the boss. The next thing this room teaches you is how to trade items with your partners. Pressing triangle over an item you have holds it out in front of you. The nearest AI will come to grab it unless you specifically shout out one of their names. The AI will sometimes do the same for you, offering random items to you don't need, though sometimes they pull through and give you something helpful. If another member of your team has an item that you want, you can choose the request action while choosing the item so that they will hold it out in front of them and you can take it. The final challenge of this room is to open a door with a fragile lock. Any door with a fragile lock can be beaten up, but it's never this easy. This door is the only door in the game that opens from one hit of a pipe. Here is the reality of it. Let's watch Mark open this door with his handgun. Want to guess how many shots it will take? Seventeen shots from a handgun to open a quote-unquote fragile lock. If you're wondering, no, it's not because I was using a gun rather than a melee weapon. Even shoulder barging it or hitting it with a melee weapon takes forever. Would go a lot faster if I had some help. From here on out, the tutorial is a few short and easy lessons, so I will quickly go through them now. Next room teaches you how to loot a dead body of a teammate. Easy enough. Stand near them, open your inventory, and take it from theirs. Then, it teaches you how to reload a gun. Either press L1 or combine the bullets with a gun in your inventory. Next room. What to do if you are injured and reduced to crawling? Find a healing item, use it, and then you have the strength to stand back up. Then you are just regular injured, and now you have to have a limp. Use a healing item, back to full power, next room. Final room, choose your weapon, kill the zombie, develop a taste for killing. I probably could have done that faster. Okay, so I know I did a fair amount of negative criticism in this part, but trust me, it gets better from here. Now let's look at the real first level. Every level starts with a cutscene to set the mood. This level takes place in the Raccoon City Zoo. Sadly, some of the animals have fallen to the zombies, but some of them have come back as zombies and are ready for payback. Sometimes you will see that one of the characters is part of the scene. If they aren't part of your team, you will see them somewhere hanging around the level, but don't have any role at all. So, goal for this level. Go through the zoo to the tram station to reach the evacuation point Cindy read about on the notice board. We start on the street to the zoo, only to find the gate is padlocked shut, so we need to find a way to open it. Nearby is a cafe. One quick question to ask is, which way do we go? We can go around the front, where we gain instant access to the cafe, or we can bash in the back door to get into the back alley and find a shotgun. I call it! As you continue to play the game, you will encounter little choices like this. Sometimes there is more than one way to progress at certain points in the level. Sometimes this is down to the character you're playing as, and other times it's up to you to decide which route you want to take. This can also be done for some of the puzzles in the game. Now that we're in the cafe, we can grab the bolt cutters that are behind the bar to cut open the padlock, or we can look at the security guard's note that contains the combination. Whichever you choose, head back to the gate, open it up, and in we go. Upon entering the zoo, a cutscene reveals the elephant in the room. Pun intended. Meet Titan, the zombie elephant and the boss of this level. He will wander around the level looking for you, trying to kill you. Only a few places are safe for him, but even if you hide in the nearest building, he will try to pull you out of the windows. You can fight him if you want, but it will take a lot of bullets. Best advice? Run like stink. If you do reach the building though, you can hide in the office. Grab the elephant key and use the typewriter to save your game. Typewriters. I don't get it. At least, you can on easy mode. The levels will change depending on what difficulty you select. Items will change places, in some cases you'll have to solve a puzzle to get the items you need. You will take more damage, more tougher enemies will appear, and in the case of this level, open up a new route to explore. Oh shit! Of course, Lion in the Lorry. Typewriters can only be used a certain number of times on higher difficulties as well, so you need to think how much progress you want to make before recording your epic adventure down on paper. I have to say though, make sure you grab everything important that you can in this room, else your AI partners fuck you over. Jim, that's the wrong ammo for the shotgun. Why did you even touch that? You won't even use that penny. Get rid of it! This is nowhere near as bad as it gets though. Pointless as it looks, the penny does have a hidden use. Each of the characters has a personal item they can use in one way or another. In some cases this is an item that they can dump, like Jim's coin, which he can flip to increase his stats for every head he gets, up to a maximum of 10 heads. And other times it has its own slot and can't be lost, like Mark's handgun. The AI isn't smart enough to use all of these items, so you might as well trade them and then dump them somewhere. Once we use the elephant key, we find ourselves in the pen where it would do shows. This is where the game shows off one of its interesting elements. Some of the actions you take will affect the ending. To avoid spoilers for this level, at least for now, we can use the circus music to lure Titan into his pen, then shut the doors and trap him in, so he can't chase us anymore. It also means we can retrieve the key that fell from the corpse. You might be asking, why didn't I just shut the gate anyway? Simply because Titan needs to be in there, otherwise the gate won't shut. With Titan in timeout, we can now freely explore the map with one less danger. Still more than enough of it though. After grabbing the key item from the corpse, we now need to go through the greenhouse, in which we find mutated plant vines and poisonous bees that block each path you take. Better get some pesticides from the caretaker's room, save the game, and find a special item. Under certain conditions, you can find these items which do nothing in the game, but count towards unlock conditions for a costume. Whenever you finish a level, you are awarded points based on your performance. The faster you complete the level, the more points you get, with bonus points on higher difficulties, not getting hit and not using weapons for the entire level. You can spend them on content in the collections menu, of which there is a metric fuck ton. Remember when there was stuff to unlock in games? Yeah, that was great. You can unlock concept art, costumes and extra characters, cutscenes, background music, and extra modes. You're going to need a lot of points to buy everything, and do a lot of playing to unlock everything. But there are quick ways to earn points, and you unlock them at a reasonable rate. I'll talk about it a little more later, but back in the game, we have to take care of these killer bees before someone gets... Fuck you, Jim. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about when I say the AI are dipshits. They run headfirst into danger without thinking about defending themselves or that they could get hurt. So you have to use your limited healing items to help them. I get teamwork is part of the game, but when they are doing stupid shit like this, it's frustrating as fuck. It's like playing with your average Fortnite player. I just got to the point where I leave them to die if they act that way. Also, this pesticide is shit. It's hardly hitting anything and kills 2 at most before another 2 replace them. Sod it, I'm going up and around. Lucky for Jim, there is a blue herb in the next room we can use to cure his poison. I have to hand it to him though, and tell him to use it because he's too stupid to figure it out for himself. Did he seriously just trade his shotgun shells for this plant and then run off? You have the shotgun! Fuck you, Jim! Now I think about it, where the fuck is Alyssa? Successful white woman lazing around doing nothing while the black guys do all the work. Insert controversial joke here. Whatever, let's just carry on. Jim, why are you playing with the alligator? Whatever, he can serve as a distraction while I swim across. At least he's being used for— Ah, fuck you, Jim! The alligator went for him, but got me instead. Now I'm injured. Fuck you, Jim. Alright. Composure. Back to the review. We made it to the next area. All I need to do here is head to the observation deck where I can replace my first aid spray and get the hunting rifle, the most powerful weapon in this level. Oh, I've got no room for it. Well, I don't need it till later. I'll just leave it here until I— Jim, put that down! Swear to God, I'd kill you myself if I could. Well, we're nearly at the end of the level now, so I'm going to hurry this up. He can carry it, it's empty anyway, so as long as he doesn't drop it, we're fine. Lucky for me though, I know where to get some ammo. First, we have to go through this hole. Ha! Fuck you, Jim. Then we head through this door, and we go to this stage. What do you mean it's too dark? Just put your hand in and pull it into the light. Ugh. Fine, I'll turn the lights on. Oh shit. Yeah, get him, Jim! Come on, Jim, you've got this. It's right there. Just... Jim, shoot it. Ugh, fine, I'll do it. Fuck you, Jim. See what I mean? Stupid as shit. So we grab the rifle rounds and I'm going to get rid of the shotgun because I don't need it anymore. Oh, what you got for me, Jim? Ammo for the gun I just got rid of. Fuck you, Jim. So we head back to the square to place the lion emblem in the statue while a lion eats Jim. It opens the gates and we can escape to the train. Now, remember before when I said your actions can affect the level? Well, this is a boss area. It would be Titan, but Titan's locked up in his cage. So, what do we do now? Get on the train? Well, no, it's not that easy. There's a boss area, there needs to be a boss. So instead, we get a different and easier boss. Stalker, the lion. Easier though, because we can handle it just like the other lions in the level. It dies in a few hunting rifle shots or 5 shotgun blasts, and victory is ours. All we have to do now is get on the train and leave. At the end of the level, a final cutscene plays that gives you an idea of how the characters get to the next level. In this one, the train crashes and we discover the evacuation is a bust. Somehow this is Jim's fault. After the level finishes, we get our points, informed of unlockable content we can now buy, and we're taken back to the main menu. And then you can move on to the next levels. But what if you're bored of the levels? What if you want to just kill things? Well, here's a tip from me. After you complete a second level, you unlock this mode called Elimination Mode, in which you have a limited time to run around this map composed of random elements from different levels and kill the enemies. The faster you do it, the more points you get. Once you figure out a route, this is the quickest way you'll be getting points. Look at that sweet, sweet money. If you can look past the irritatingly dumb AI, this is a good game. While it may not be as lore-rich as the other games in the series, it does have some ties to Resident Evil 2, and there is a lot to do in this game. I deliberately left out some things, so you can discover them for yourself if you want to give it a go. The controls, while a little complicated and require sometimes more than 2 button presses, do work well and the important actions have simple controls. The graphics are good and gameplay is well paced, and as I said before, they don't play the same on higher difficulties. The levels may seem a bit small at times, but there are often hidden secrets and multiple ways for you to approach the level. So it keeps you entertained, and some of these secrets and approaches I still haven't found. So, now that you've heard of it, would you play it? Let me know down below. Thanks for dropping by everyone, and remember, you're always welcome at the Spectrum.